What's going on, guys? This is Noah. I haven't uploaded a video. I'm supposed to upload one today. It's not how things went. So, I mean, basically what I want to talk about in this video is general stores versus niche stores, because it's been a question that has came up in my my Keys to Optimization series, where people are wondering about, you know, how the pixel works and whether they should start with a niche store or a general store. With a niche store, there's certain benefits, like pros and cons, and then there's certain benefits with a general store, but there's also cons to that. So, but first, I want to get out of the way. The fact that you have a general store or a niche store should not change the way that you run your Facebook advertising at all. There's no different strategy for a niche store. You know, that thing where I say that you should only scale one product per pixel, the same thing goes with a niche store as with a general store. It's no different. So the only thing that's going to be different with a general and niche store is your brand perception, which isn't even really that big of a deal in this day and age. Like, you can have a general store and people will buy from it. They will buy from it just fine. Yeah, people will buy from it just fine. So general versus niche store, what are the benefits of a general store? So the benefit of a general store is you can test very, very quickly. Now, you can have 30 products on your store that are all, you know, proven to work, and they can all be in different niches. They're just random products at this point, but you can just bang them out, you know, one after the other, after the other, after the other when you're testing. With a niche store, you can't really do this. You have to like build a whole store for every product that you want to test. Maybe not every product, but every niche that you're working in. And this is a very big task, you know, for some people. Like, for me, not really. Like, I could bang a store out in a half hour, you know, if I have the right tools and if I already have a base to build off of. But, you know, that's the main benefit of a general store over a niche store. And that's why I tell people to make a general store, because most people don't have that skill to just bang out stores like super quickly. And the benefit of having that speed of testing outweighs the benefit of having a niche store at that point, if you're taking so long to test a new product. So I've seen this over and over again. You know, they make niche stores, but they're only testing one product a week, and they spend a lot of their time just building stores. You don't want to spend your time building a bunch of niche stores. You want to spend your time running ads. So if you can delegate, you know, having a new niche store built for every product you want to test, do it, you know, because speed of testing is really powerful. Like, being able to just move on like that and have a new one ready. And that's really the main thing. Like, there's numerous pros and cons in terms of like marketing and brand recognition and all this sort of thing, but it's really, like, in my book, it's really a difference of, you know, speed of testing and how quickly you can put things out into the marketplace. So yes, I do recommend having a general store if you're just starting out. That way you can test very quickly. But if all you have, I mean, if your mindset is just tailored towards a niche store, you better be really good at building stores. You better, you know, focus on building that skill first, because you're gonna want to be able to, you know, test a product and then move on very quickly if it doesn't work out. So another thing with the pixel problems and, you know, the pixel being focused on one niche, so it's not able to go into the next niche. There's a lot of people in my comments saying, you know, you should have Trackify or custom conversions. Now, I just want to get out of the way. These two things are not bad. You know, having third-party apps that make custom conversions essentially for your products, so that you can optimize for a specific product, it's not bad. Like, I've seen people do it and it's worked really well. The problem is when you use it without knowing the risks, and when you use it without knowing how to use it correctly. So custom conversions, first of all, is where you take a URL on your website and you tell Facebook that I want to optimize for, or I want to build a list of people who landed on this URL. Now, a lot of things that I've seen happen is, you know, in terms of it going wrong, is people switching their URL. So they switch their URL and they don't know. You know, Oberlo, the supplier from AliExpress takes the product down, so they have to do an override on Oberlo, and that switches up the link. I mean, basically your whole pixel optimization is based upon your URL. So if anything messes up your URL, you're not going to have a good time, and it's going to be very difficult for you to build back momentum when something like that happens. Now, so you have to understand that when you're using these things, there's a right way to do it and a non-risky way to do it, and there is a risky way to do it. So let's go over apps. So Trackify, all these different things. The problem that I have with third-party apps holding something that really makes the business go boom is I've been burned by them too many times. So the first store that I ever grew, we did around 17K in a month. What happened was the owner used a third-party app to upload the video to Facebook. So like the app would use Facebook's interface, the API, to make a page post inside of the app so that you don't have to do it inside of Facebook, which was pretty convenient because getting a video from YouTube or whatever into Facebook is kind of a pain in the ass. So it was pretty convenient. It was a good app. But the problem was the month that we finished doing 17K, the company shut down, and they took the page post with it. So we were left with, you know, doing around, you know, $600-700 a day in sales, and the next day we had nothing, and we found out that all of our ads were running to a blank post. So I mean, these kind of things happen, and you can't do anything about it. There was no options for us to get that post back. We just lost a $500 to $600 a day store because we were ignorant to use a third-party app. Now, Trackify, the Retarget app, like all these different things, I've seen people get burned by them. You know, them losing the data, not being able to optimize correctly, just so many different problems. And if they ever shut down, or if you ever break their terms of service and they shut you down, you lose everything with them. And this is why I don't like them, because if the wrong person uses it in the wrong situation at the wrong time, it can really cost them money. You know, it can cost them their life. You know, having a business that's generating them their full-time income and then having it shut down by something that's out of their control because of a third-party app is not something that I like. Now, it's not always extreme cases when these things happen. A lot of times it's you know, it's just minor things that are just minor inconveniences, or it messes with the pixel a little bit, or something stupid, right? But I'm talking about more extreme cases, because in that moment when we lost the $500 to $600 a day store, we would have done anything in the world to get that post back, including just doing the extra little bit of work in the beginning to make the post the right way. And this is why I say this, because I've already learned these lessons. I've already learned the the third-party app, like what could happen. I know what it feels to be screwed over by a third-party app. Okay, so I know that I would be willing to do anything in the world to not get screwed over by a third-party app, because it sucks. But that's not even that big of a deal. I just want to get into what should you do. So you shouldn't have a niche store. You shouldn't scale multiple products on one store. How do you get around this? Well, the simple answer is you make a new store and you make a new ad account. This literally takes fucking $30 to make a new store, $30 a month, and it's free to make another ad account. I mean, like, in the situation where I were to lose all my pixel data, I just ask myself, would I have wished that I made a new ad account? And I basically just weigh the risks. Like, is the benefit of having multiple products per store, you know, worth potentially losing all my data? And, you know, once you figure that out, then you know exactly what to do. But yeah, you make a new store, make a new pixel. And also another thing that I think is very important that people mishear me is I don't say that you shouldn't test multiple products on one store. I say you shouldn't scale multiple products on one store. You shouldn't have 2 products going at once, bringing in sales every day and doing good every day. That's what's going to mess up your pixel. It's not going to mess up your pixel if you're just getting like a couple sales on a product and you just ditch it and move on. That's not what I'm talking about. You can test multiple products on one store, but I don't want anybody scaling multiple products on one store, because that's when I see you know, the competition and the pixel going on, and being incapable of making both products profitable at the same time. And please guys, if you have any input or you know, anything that you want to say, any questions, comments, any advice that you can give other people, please drop it in the comment section, because I'm really only talking from my experience. And I do have a lot of experience. Like I've worked with a lot of third-party apps. I've seen the kind of things that they do. I've taken niche stores to 6 figures. I've taken general stores to 6 figures. They're kind of the same to me. So I have a lot of experience, but I'm just basing what I say off of what I've seen and what I'm currently seeing. So it's not like I'm right or wrong. It's more like I'm just following where my results take me, you know what I mean? So, and that's really with everything that I say, you know, every piece of advice that I give out is really just, you know, a result of what I've observed over the experience that I have. And I would hope that that's why you trust what I say, because I have a lot of experience. You know, I grow a lot of stores. I work with a lot of people. So, yeah, and that's why I trust what I say too, because I know what works. I know what doesn't work. I know what mistakes I've made, and I might not know what mistakes you've made or what you've done that's worked if you're watching. So I know, you know, if you're somebody who has seen something contradict what I say, drop a comment and let me know how it worked out, because I'm interested to learn. But at the end of the day, you know, patterns are very important. And when I get on camera and talk to you guys and say things publicly that I really believe in, I'm not talking about just a one-off situation. It's always a pattern. It's always across numerous stores. So a lot of times when I say things like only test one product, I mean only scale one product per store, I'm mainly just saying it because I've seen way too many people, you know, just end up in the ditch because they're not taking that piece of advice. And I just want the best for you guys. So I'm not gonna tell you to scale multiple products per store when that's not what I see working. I see what's working, and scaling one product per pixel or per store is what's working. So I mean, that's it for this video though. I hope there was enough value in here and I answered some of the most common questions for the Keys to Optimization series. And yeah, so this is Noah Brewer and I'm out. Peace.